In this tutorial, we are going to learn the basics of rendering. This is an interior design of a living room, and we have modified its materials and added some lights as we explained in previous parts. Click on Environment in the object tree and enable the sun and sky system. Click on the sun direction and adjust its position to penetrate the room through the windows. Now hold Ctrl on the keyboard and click on the windows to select them. Then go to the Create menu, Lights, and select to Portal. Portals focus the sun and sky lights through a certain area, which increases the amount of light entering the room and speeds up the rendering. Let's take a quick look at the render settings. From the Render menu, select Output Settings. Here, you can set the image type when rendering animation or rendering to file. You can also set the resolution of the rendered image. The samples per pixel is the general quality control for the rendered image when rendering to file or rendering an animation. In the Renderer Settings tab, you can change the rendering mode, each suitable for a specific output. For this scene, we are going to go with the Interior Renderer. Set the view you want to render, and from the Render menu, select Real-Time Rendering, or press F4 on the keyboard. During the real-time rendering, you can select objects and modify their materials, and the renderer will automatically update the view. Click on the Image Effects icon in the Rendering Tools bar. The Image Effects tool applies post-processing image enhancements to the render. You can control the gamma and the brightness of the image, as well as add color filtering to it. Once the rendering gets to a satisfying result, click on the Capture View image. Set the type of the image, type in its name, and click Save. In addition to image effects, the rendering toolbar allows you to focus the rendering on a certain area of the view. It also allows you to pause and stop the rendering process. Let's look at another model and learn how to render it as animation. This is a model of a wristwatch, and we have modified its materials and it's ready to be rendered. Press F4 on the keyboard to start real-time rendering. Monitor the SPP number in the title bar to see at which value the image quality gets good. For this model, around 200 SPP is good enough for each frame. Press F4 again to stop the rendering, and keep in mind that we need to set the SPP to 200 for this model. To animate the camera, go to the Animation tab. Now click on Capture Keyframe for Camera. Move the time slider to frame 180 and adjust the camera to view a different angle of the wristwatch. Click once again on the Capture Keyframe for Camera icon. Now we have an animation of 180 frames of the camera pivoting around the wristwatch. From the Render menu, go to Multiple Frames and select Animation. In the Render settings, we are going to set the image type as well as the resolution for the rendered images, then we will set the SPP. And as we have determined earlier, a value of 200 is sufficient for this model. Set the rendered frame range to match the animation range, then click on Start Rendering. Once the rendering is complete, we will have a rendered image for each frame of the animation. The last step is to convert those images to a single video file. From the Video menu, click on the Movie Maker. Set the input folder to the folder where the rendered images are created at, and set up the options you need for the video, and click Create. Once the movie creation is complete, go to the Output folder and you will find a video file with the settings you have chosen placed there.